Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm so glad to be here and joining you for another chocolate for breakfast episode. It's going to be super yummy today, as always, because that's how we start our day. Start it yummy, yummy, yummy to our tummy, to our body, to our hearts and our minds. Let's start with things that we love. And that's why I do chocolate for breakfast every Saturday morning. For those of you who happen to be joining me live, please say hi in the chat box. Would love it. You don't have to say anything or do anything if you don't want to, but just a hi would be awesome. It's nice to know people are here and joining me to celebrate our day. And that's what I do is I make a chocolate recipe every Saturday morning and I share it with you guys and tell you how good or not good it is, some of the experiences I had with making the recipe. And then I celebrate 3 awesome things that are happening in my life. And so I encourage you to do the same. If you have some awesome things to celebrate, which we all do, then put them in the chat box and I would love to share it with the audience. And as we celebrate awesome stuff that's happening in our life, I think it gives us energy, it gets us excited, it gets us able to recognize all the awesome things that we have to celebrate. And it brings more things in our life to celebrate. So I'm a huge believer in celebration and encourage you to celebrate with me. So, or with yourself or with a loved one or whatever, like you could just shut this box right now and, go celebrate by yourself if that makes you happier. Whatever makes you happy, I encourage it. So let's get first to the chocolate recipe that I made today. I made a really fun one. Oh, hey, Robin, I see you here in the chat box. So glad to see you. I love it. She said that she was late because she was watching a video about a doggy who once was adopted and didn't want to leave its best friend. How sweet is that? Oh, that's so sweet. I love hearing little stories like that because I think animals are so much smarter than we give them credit for. And I know my cat, Adela, she is like the most social cat I've ever met in my entire life, but I swear she understands specific words, like bugs. If I say bugs, she like starts looking around the room for a bug she can chase, treats, of course, I think animals learn the treat words pretty quickly. But, I'm telling you, like, I'll be like, want to go outside? And she'll go straight right into the door, things like that. So they're smart creatures and they tell us stuff and we just have to pay attention because they can't talk, obviously, but they can talk in different ways. They talk with their tail, with their meows, with the way that they act and things like that. So anyway, hey, glad to see you. Jay is here too. I love it. Welcome. So I today made some really fun recipe. I was looking up recipes and I found these pancake muffins. So they're basically chocolate chip pancake muffins. And so they're basically made out of the same ingredients you might put in a pancake, but they are in a muffin form. And actually when I made them, I was a little worried because they were almost as runny, not quite, but almost as runny as a pancake would be. And I thought, oh my gosh, I really hope these are going to turn out okay. And they turned out fantastic. And then what's really kind of fun is I just use Safeway chocolate chips. So they're mini muffins. So they're like this size. And I just made, what am I trying to say here? I totally lost my train of thought. What's so fun about the recipe is that you put maple syrup inside the muffins. So it's kind of like you don't have to put the maple syrup on top and make a huge mess. You can just have the muffin by itself and that's it. And it's done. And it's just easy to eat a couple of them, pop them in your mouth and go because they're mini muffins. And so I had mini chocolate chips. So that's why I was looking for a recipe where I could use my mini chocolate chips. So I just used the remainder of my Safeway brand mini chocolate chips. They weren't any special chocolate brand, but this, I have to say, this maple gold maple syrup, I've been using a lot of maple syrup recipes lately because I tend to like some recipes that tend to have a little bit more natural sweeteners in them. And so I've been looking for recipes that use maple syrup. Doesn't always work. Doesn't always make sense. I would prefer to use whatever sugar makes sense for the best of the recipe because, I think our body can do whatever. Like we can have a treat once in a while. We don't have to always eat natural and healthy, but it's good to have both, right? So anyway, the point is I've been using a lot of maple syrup lately. And so this I love because it's, instead of in a jar, it's like in one of these squeeze bags and this comes off like this. And I'm really digging how like it's not as sticky as normal jars are, and the top, you know, sticks on, and it's like such a pain in the butt. You get your fingers all yucky. This bag is awesome, so highly recommend this maple gold, and it's 100% pure maple syrup. I always look for the real deal, and I'm a huge maple lover. Like, I'm that person at Christmas time that loves the, you know, those Christmas maple sugar candies. They're so good. Love those. I'm a total sucker for like real maple syrup. And I think probably in a past life, I was probably one of those like girls on the prairie that made the snow cones. Robin, you're probably going to laugh because I know we did this as kids. You know, when, you know, for any fans out there of Little House on the Prairie, the books or the show, one of the things that they used to do when they made snow cones is they would take like real snow, and then they would put maple syrup like fresh from the tree on the snow, and that's kind of how they made their snow cones. That's like the real original snow cone, not these bright colored fake things you buy at the fair, which are still good too, and I actually really love them. But I think in my past life I really loved maple sugar, and so that's another reason why I just kind of look for maple syrup as a sweetener also, because I just think it's so good. So anyway, let's get to these amazing chocolate muffins. I can't wait to try. Aren't they really pretty too? And like I said, they just turned out beautifully. They cooked only in 9 minutes, and they were a super easy recipe to make. So as always, I'll put the recipe in the description below, and I'll take a bite and tell you how good they are. Really good. Very pancakey. Sorry for licking my fingers, but I had chocolate on them. Very pancakey flavor, which is a really good contrast against the chocolate. It's really, really good. And really yummy. So one thing, these mini chocolate muffin pans make like there's like 24, and most recipes though where you use regular muffin pans, you can use almost 2 of these pans for one recipe, and this recipe definitely allowed for 2 of them. So they actually suggested putting it in the oven, spraying the pan, and then, you know, when you take them out and put a second batch in. But luckily I have 2 of them, so it worked out great. So really fun. I really love the size of it too, because it cooks it faster, and B, it just makes it easier, more bite size and easier on the go. So, all right, so let's get to the celebrations. The first thing I'm celebrating today, hold on a minute, I want to grab a cup of coffee. And again, I encourage you guys to tell me what you're celebrating in the chat box. Oh, hey, Sherry, you're here too. I love it. Welcome, welcome, Sherry. We got the crowd today. It's awesome. It's nice to see you. It's been a couple weeks. I know, Sherry, because I took a couple weeks off, and then I'm back now. And so, yeah. So the first thing I'm celebrating today is I am celebrating sunshine. So we've had quite a bit of sunshine here in Portland. I'm assuming Sherry up and also Robin up in the Tacoma, Seattle area. It's been nice too. But it has felt almost like summer in May, which is crazy. So it's funny because today and yesterday were a little bit more like the normal June gloom kind of like weather, where it's kind of like a little cloudy. It's still a little warmer than it is in the spring, but it's still not like super like, you know, like warm like summertime. But it's what's funny is how quickly we get used to it and accustomed to it. And it really has been like, we had a 90-degree day. I don't remember like ever having a 90-degree day in May in the past, like not 90. And so it's been really nice. I'm really enjoying this nice warm weather, and you know, I just want to continue. So it's a little bit like June gloom, and it's not even June. That's the funny thing. Like, this is like normal weather we would get maybe late June, and we're getting it in early May. I know it's in late May now, but we've been getting nice weather all month long. So the point is I'm loving the sunshine. I'm celebrating it. I'm wanting more of it. My daughter is going to be at outdoor school next week as a counselor. This is the 4th time she's done that. And it would be really fun for her to be able to have like a nice warm time at outdoor school. So I'm hoping that for her too. I mean, let's be honest, it's selfish because I want it to be sunny, but it'd be nice for her too. I'm the first time she went to outdoor school, it was like literally snowing where she was at. So and she's going to the same location. It's just that the first time she did it, it was like, you know, much more than winter time. She is doing it the last week of their sessions. So anyway, the point is It's awesome weather, loving the sunshine, and want more of it. The second thing I'm celebrating today is happiness. I have like had this theme lately of like finding ways to be happy and to also want to make other people happy. So, and I think being happy is such a great thing, but also to spread the happiness, because when you're happy, other people around you are happy. And so I've been sort of like trying to not just make myself happy, make other people happy, but I think people forget that if you find ways for yourself to be happy, then people around you are happy. So don't sacrifice your own happiness for other people's. I think it's good to make other people happy, and to kind of think about that and what are something small you could do to for somebody today that could make them happy. Like you could give them a compliment, or tell them thank you. So many different ways you could make someone happy. But without, like, you don't need to sacrifice yourself to make other people happy. Like, you don't have to be miserable for someone else to be happy. And I think that's an important distinction. And I went to a concert this week with the Oregon Symphony, which was so super fun. I went with my pregame peeps, Ciara and Bridget, and it was so fun. The Oregon Symphony played music to a lot of musicals that were sung by Audra McDonald. And Audra McDonald, I knew who she was before, but I didn't really realize she was such a musical Broadway star. So I actually first came across her when she was on TV. I'm a huge TV person, or I used to be at least. Now I try to squeeze it in when I can before I go to sleep, and then I usually fall asleep in bed. I'm trying to watch a TV show. Anyway, the point is she was in a show called The Practice, which was kind of a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy. So some of you may know her or have seen her. She was one of the primary characters in the show. She was the owner of the women's clinic in the LA area in this show. And so she that's how I got to know her. And she's a great actress, super beautiful. And so I think I knew that she was in other things or on Broadway or something like that, but I had no idea what an amazing singer she was. So good, so amazing. And so one of the last songs that she sang in the concert was Make Someone Happy. And I'm not going to try and sing it because I'll murder it compared to how she did it. But you probably know that song, make someone happy, da, 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 da. Okay, I am trying to sing it. I lied. But the point is I love the theme, and I just feel like it's kind of been a theme that's come up a lot for me this week is, doing little things to make other people happy, and also yourself. And so one of the gals that was with Bridget, she was a clarinet player her entire life, and she actually got a full ride scholarship to Duke playing clarinet, and she didn't take it, which I think is kind of amazing. Like, she had this amazing opportunity, but she knew that's not what she wanted to do for the rest of her life. And so she followed her heart and her dreams. And so good on her. Like, that's just amazing. I think a lot of us in high school, if we had a full ride scholarship to Duke of all places, like, how would you turn that down, right? That's really hard to probably tell your parents, I don't want to do that. But she did. And so anyway, but she's obviously a huge lover of the symphony and clarinets. And so she like ran up to the stage like right after the concert and asked for autographs and selfies with the clarinet players, which I'm sure, like, how often do the clarinet players probably get that? I mean, it was hilarious. You could just see the looks on people's faces like, what are you asking for? Like, they went back and got the clarinet players. It was hilarious. It was just so funny to watch the whole thing. And I'm sure she made them happy. Like, she made them happy, which was amazing. And her made herself happy while she was doing that. So such a great experience. So, and then the third thing today I am celebrating is time, because I have a thing with time. Like, whenever I get frustrated or stressed out or like whatever, it always comes back in my mind to time. So I know this is like, it all leads to my limiting beliefs. I always feel like I don't have enough time, or I don't have time to do that or whatever. And so time is one of those things that I feel like is sometimes elusive to me. And I was somewhere talking to someone about this, because I was recognizing this. Like, I had this worksheet that I was filling out at Pregame, and it kind of like helped clarify, like, almost all of my limiting beliefs are like revolved around time. And I was talking to somebody, and they were saying, yeah, you know what? I was just listening to this really cool podcast or something. I can't remember what it was they were listening to, but they were talking about how we are the maker of time. Like, time is not here without us, right? And we make, and it was just an interesting way of looking at it. Like, we are the maker of time. And I love that. Because of course we create what we do with our time, but even saying it like that, makes you feel like, okay, we have like this certain chunk of time that we can do something with, rather than we are the maker of it. Like we literally make our own time, which is true. And just reframing it and seeing that way has like blown my mind. And so yay for time. I'm loving it. And I love being the maker of my own time and making awesome time. So yay for time. All right, let's get to see what you guys are just chatting it up in the chat box. I love it. So let's see what you guys are celebrating today. So, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. So Jay, it looks like he had to get and be here and be gone because he said he's here in spirit. So he either maybe is just listening while he's doing something else, or maybe he had to get going. And Robin is talking about the maple syrup and how she just this morning was dealing with a sticky bottle. That's hilarious, Robin. I love it. And Sherry's also saying that you're celebrating your stepbrother passed away, but celebrating he is out of his pain from being sick and in a better place. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sherry. And I love your attitude that you are celebrating him and his like release of pain, right? I feel like sometimes we are here on earth to you know, just to do something, to be something. And sometimes it's better to move on and not be in pain, right? So I'm so sorry for your pain, but I'm happy for him that he is no longer sick, like you said, and you were able to celebrate that you were able to do that and celebrate his life and his release of pain. So that's amazing. And you're also celebrating life and the new growth in your garden. I love it. I still have not planted my garden, Sherry. I know it's like, because we had this amazing spring, it's crazy that I haven't done it. But what I usually do is put seeds in the window, and I usually do that in April and then plant seeds in the garden in May. But I totally haven't done it this year. I actually planted some herbs in my window to have for cooking, but I haven't planted the seeds for the garden. So I'm just gonna have to do all starts this year. I almost always, and it's like I've been using more and more of my own seed starts, but this year is gonna have to be all from the garden, which is totally fine. It's totally fine. So that's cool that you have already planted yours. And Robin says, I think that's why we should at least let the people in our lives know that we care, just in case life happens and life is unexpected. I totally agree. You never know what will happen. I can speak from experience, you know, after my car accident, like it really reminded me that life is short, right? Like, you know, could have died. So, and we all could, you know, I'm sure we all have moments like that where sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't. Like, life is short. And so do what you love, have happiness and celebrate all the awesome stuff that's happening. I love it. And tell people you care. Like you said, Robin, I love that. And Sherry's also celebrating Memorial Day. All those who suffered and served for our freedom. When you go visit your father's grave, it's so beautiful seeing all the flags set before all those who served. So love it. And Robin had to go watching Friends 3-year-old, and he's having a meltdown. That's what 3-year-olds do, Robin. So I totally get it. No problem. Although you didn't really get a chance to say what you were. Oh, yes, you did. You said what you were celebrating. You were celebrating Angus, your brother brought his dog Angus over for you to watch this weekend. So, and you're obviously celebrating your friend's 3-year-old, right? You're celebrating by helping him out with his meltdown. So I love it. Awesome celebrations, you guys. What a great Saturday to celebrate. I love it that you're here with me. If you get a chance, definitely check out this recipe. It's super yummy. Again, chocolate chip muffins. Chocolate chip pancake muffins. So they really are like, they have the texture and taste of pancakes, and not messy at all. You can just pop them in your mouth and not worry about the maple syrup because it's inside the pancake cupcake, yo. I keep saying cupcake, but they're not really cupcake. They're muffins. So, or, you know, muffin shaped pancakes. Maybe that's how I'll put them in the description on YouTube. Anyway, all right. Thanks, you guys. See you next week for the Talk for Breakfast, and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And I guess that's it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.